Good evening, everyone. I am Captain Vipul Choudhary, at Gurkhas. I am, by qualification, I did my Bachelor of Arts in Law and then I did an MBA in Finance from the Management Development Institute, Gurgaon, class of 2008. I've been practicing in the financial industry as a consultant stroke investment advisor for the last 15 odd years. My area of specialization is finance and real estate. आज हम थोड़ा सा टच करेंगे. These are all facts based on the pension and other emoluments which are paid to a service officer on retirement. The taxation किस तरह से cover होता है? What are the different emoluments like? So if you want to make notes, you can keep on side by side, keep on doing that. I will be sharing a presentation, or once I'm done, if you have any doubts, we'll. So this is the topic of the day: retirement payouts for defense officers. 5 main categories हैं जिनमें retirement होने पर defense officers are paid. I mean, one is the Defense Service Officers Provident Fund (DSOP). Second is the gratuity. Third is the group insurance payout, applicable across all 3 services. Then commutation of pension, which is in the case of defense services officers, up till 50% of the pension, and leave encashment up to 300 days is allowed. There is a special provision for short service officers, which will be covering subsequently कि उन लोगों के लिए क्या अलग से provisions है. At the end of the presentation, there are some numbers which will kind of give you a fair idea as to what one can expect in terms of payout when retired. So DSOPF का जो भी आपको payout होता है, final payout, it is your own accumulated contribution till that particular date and the interest you have earned on that contribution. Final payment, whatever is made, is tax free. There are no taxes on the DSOPF payment, which is the final payment which is made, own contribution as well as interest. The entire amount is tax free. This is payable to all officers, whether it is a short service officer, an officer coming out on voluntary release, or an officer who is superannuating after having put in 30 plus years of service. Then is the Army or Force or the Naval group insurance payout. Now this is the maturity benefit. Maturity benefit में जो आपने amount accumulate किया है, plus a certain compound interest and a bonus. So the group insurance of any of the 3 services works like the endowment plan of any of the. आप कोई भी private sector का insurance देखते हैं, उसके endowment plan की तरह से work करता है. उन्हीं के insurance investment patterns पर जो group insurance services का है, वो भी अपने corpus को invest करता है और वहीं से लोगों को beneficiaries हैं उनको payouts करते हैं last में. अगर आपने कोई लोन या एडवांस AGIF या नेवल या एयरफोर्स ग्रुप इंश्योरेंस फंड से ले रखा है, सो दैट इज डेबिटेड सेटल्ड अगेंस्ट द फाइनल पे आउट. एंड एटलीस्ट इन द केस ऑफ AGIF, एन extended cover of 15 lakhs is mandatorily given against a payment of 1.6 lakhs, which is debited from the final settlement of the insurance amount. The period of this 15 lakhs coverage is 26 years or 18 years of age, whatever is earlier. This is the AGI payable to all. Again, that is the short service officers, PMR officers, and the one who are moving on superannuation. Amounts vary as per the contribution which one has made over the period of the tenure of service. The final payment made is tax-free. That means the accumulated amount, the compound interest you have earned, and the bonus, everything is tax-free, taxes levied on this particular amount. Leave encashment, a total of 300 days of leave is allowed to be accumulated and an encashment of that allowed. So basically, if you have 300 days of leave, it is 10 months of salary. The payment is made on last month's salary plus DA plus non-practicing allowance for medical or the RVC doctors. I mean, as and where it is applicable. Then, so the final amount is number of months into, or number of months plus days into basic salary plus DA plus NPA. So maximum ceiling here is 300 days. Any leave accumulated more than days would not be payable. Payout is again tax free. This is also payable to all category of officers moving out of the forces after their respective war, whether it is short service, whether it is voluntary release, or it is superannuation. So this is the second payout, leave encashment. 300 leaves can be accumulated and claimed by any category of officers. There is no restriction on the age of service. I mean, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कोई ये proportionate नहीं है. People with even 10 years of service are allowed to accumulate and encash up till 300 days of leave. This is that's a rule position. The military service pay is not included in the computation of leave encashment. Only the DA, the basic pay, and the non-allowance are included. In the February of last year, if an individual retires, that means अगर कोई 1 फेब या उसके बाद में रिटायर करता है तो जनवरी की लीव को भी इंक्लूड कर सकता है अपने एक्यूमुलेटेड लीव्स के अंदर. So if you're retiring on or after 1st of Feb and if you have certain shortcoming in the 300 leave, then you can go ahead and accumulate those 30 days of leave also. For short service officers, there is a provision that they can additionally claim 60 days of annual leave and a 28 days of terminal leave in the final year of their service. So this is over and above the 300 days, but this 88 days of encashment is taxable. So short service officers can make a total of 388 days of claim if they have been able to accumulate the 300 days over a period of 10 or 14 years of service. That is one, and that would be a non-taxable payment to them. They can additionally take 88 days, which is 28 days of terminal leave and 60 days of annual leave in the final year of the service, but this leave encashment would be a taxable leave encashment. Terminal gratuity. Terminal gratuity, as the word implies, is for when you have completed your gratuitous service with the uniform and the organization pays it to you as a matter of gratitude for your meritorious service. This is paid at the rate of for your basic pay plus MSP plus NPA plus DA with a maximum ceiling of 20 lakh rupees. जब DNN's allowance 50% से ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगा, so there is a provision that the gratuity would be 25 lakhs, but अभी the maximum ceiling is 20 lakhs. It is half month of reckonable emoluments for every 6 months period. So अगर आपने मान लीजिए 10 साल काम किया है तो आपको 20 gratuities पे होंगी. So that's how the calculation would be done. This is maximum up till 16.5 times of last drawn salary. So आपकी जितनी भी last drawn salary है, which is DA plus MSP plus the basic pay and NPA as applicable, maximum 16.5 times of that. Minimum service required for payment of gratuity is 5 years. Payment will be up to a maximum of 20 lakhs. 15 days is paid for every 6 months of service. So 5 years में आपको total 10 into your so there are 5 years की service में 10 payout every 6 months. So 10 times into your basic plus MSP plus DA plus NPA. This is again payable to all the officers, which is short term. One, those who are moving out on voluntary release, oblique superannuation. Payment again tax free. Condition remains minimum 5 years of uninterrupted meritorious service. No, I mean, you should not be asked to leave for reasons of various reasons. So if it is meritorious service, or rather to say unblemished service of without any break for a minimum 5 years, you are eligible to get a tax-free gratuity as per the applicable laws, which I just shared. I'll go back to this slide. The authority for claiming gratuity is the Ministry of Defence letter number I-6/98 Defence Pensioner/Service dated 3rd February 1998. This is the one which still rules. Commutation of pension. Commutation of pension is for defence services officers. It is up till 50% of the amount can be commuted. So 50% of the amount of the pension into 12x into 12 into commutation or the purchase factor. Commutation और purchase factor का जो टेबल है वो आपको नॉर्मल गूगल सर्च करने से भी मिल जाएगा. एज पर एज इट कंटिन्यूज टू गो डाउन. दैट मीन्स people with higher age, they get a slightly lower percentage of the commutation. Younger the age, the better is the payout in terms of the percentage. That means the buying factor is more favorable for younger officers if they are eligible for earning a commutation of pension. डीए जो होता है वो पूरी पेंशन पर दिया जाता है after the commuted amount also. For example, if an individual has a salary of 2 lakh rupees and the pension is 1 lakh, so after the commutation amount, if the pension is 50,000 rupees, the DA would be paid on the entire 50,000 rupees, and it would be pension would then be in that around the payable pension would be 70 odd K, because the DA would be paid on the entire 1 lakh rupees. So pension का जो भी total amount है उस पर पूरे पर DA मिलता है. Commuted amount is paid lump sum. The commuted amount paid lump sum is again tax free. And an important aspect is in the unfortunate event of the pensioner dying during the 15 years, the commutation is done for a 15 years period, then the family pension is restored complete. मतलब family pension पे किसी तरह का impact नहीं होता है commutation का. So there is, one can say, kind of a life insurance, or to say the commuted amount is already insured, so it does not negatively impact the individual who is, the family of the individual who has taken the commutation. So that's an additional benefit, or whatever one may say, in terms of the commutation of pension. There are, broadly speaking, three different kinds of pension. One is the basic service pension, which is applicable to all officers who have put in 20 years of plus of service. This is taxable. The DA is enhanced as regularly announced by the union government from time to time. Increase of the basic depends on pay commissions or the revision of scales. If the OROP is applicable, then the OROP scale revision or subsequent pay commission. So अगर नया pay commission आएगा, या in lieu of pay commission, if there is an overall scale revision, then the would be accordingly revised. The second is the disability pension. It has two elements: the service element and the normal. The normal service element and the disability element. Entire pension in this particular case is tax free. It is a non-taxable pension. For minimum 20% disability, the disability element is awarded. The disability element अगर पहले से award कर दिया जाता है, then it can be commuted. In a lot of cases, the disability element is awarded 1 year after service through litigation, etc. Then it is not commutable. But otherwise, in case of an officer who is getting a disability element even before moving out from, at the time of superannuation, if the pension is fixed, which includes the disability element and the service element, then both the amounts can be commuted. For 100% disability, 30% of the last payments are paid as the pension, as the disability element, in addition to the service pension. For those who are not in receipt of service pension, then it is only the disability element which is paid. And accordingly, it is उसमें banding का provision है, and as per the bands, the proportionate disability element is fixed. Pension to gallantry award is Sena Medal and above. Anyone who has a Sena Medal, gallantry and above, that means Sena Medal, Shaurya Chakra, Kirti Chakra, and the Ashok Chakra, or any of the awards during war. So peace and war, all gallantry awards more than, not more than, Sena Medal, gallantry and above. Pensioners of those awardees, the officers who have been decorated, their pensions are non-taxable. It is governed under Section 1018 India of the Income Tax Act. You are liable to pay any taxes on your pension. Any income other than the pension is taxable for the gallantry awardees also. Ordinary family pension, this is payable at the rate of 30% of last drawn emolument. So In the unfortunate event of a pensioner dying or an officer dying while in service, then the taxable, then the pension paid is an ordinary family pension, which is 30% of the last drawn emoluments. The ordinary family pension is taxable. Then there is a special family pension. This is in the event of an officer dying and the cause of death is attributable to military service. Then the family pension is 60% of the last drawn emoluments. This is also taxable. Then there is a provision for a liberalized family pension. Liberalized family pension is payable in the event of an officer's death due to operation, an active operation or a battle casualty. The liberalized family pension is non-taxable and it is equivalent to the 100% of the last emoluments drawn by the particular individual. How would OROP impact my pension? This is not applicable to officers seeking PMR after 2014. उससे पहले जो भी officers थे उनको PMR oblique superannuation सबको cover किया गया है. But 2014 के October 2014 के बाद जो officers PMR ले रहे हैं, they will not be covered under OROP. This basically implies same pension for same rank and same length of service. इसमें एक बहुत detailed talk already cover किया जा चुका है. You can view the detailed talk on our channel that is already there. The OROP would be fixed every 5 years. So basically, what this implies is that every 5 years there would be kind of a revision of the pension scale, and the new pension scale would be brought at par with the average of the highest and lowest of the balance last 5 years. So every 5 years your pension would increase when the OROP is applicable to you by a fixation formula. The basic abhi already share kar diya gaya, and then the formula would be revised every 5 years. So instead of waiting for 10 years for a pay scale revision due to a new pay panel or due to a new fixation of the overall salaries and pensions as per government order, the OROP will become an automatic formula for the revision of the pension scale. This is applicable to all types of pension, whether it is service pension, disability pension, family oblique special family pension, and liberalized family pension. So OROP उन सबको भी revision मिलेगा. Some more useful provisions with reference to pension. Pension is admissible even if there is a change of nationality. So let's say an officer moves abroad and acquires the citizenship of a foreign country, even then the pension would remain to be payable. Pension is an unassailable right and cannot be taken away by the change of citizenship of an individual. If there are if an individual has started earning a pension other than the armed forces pension, say an officer served for 20 odd years, left forge, was getting a pension, another organization from where also he or she became eligible for earning a second pension, then two family pensions can also be paid and two individual pensions can also be paid. So they'll be treated separately. Disability pension, family pension is only on the service element. यहाँ समझने की बात यह है that in the event of the death of the officer who was getting a disability pension, the disability element would cease to be paid to the family and the family pension, normal family pension, would be restored for the family. For those getting only the disability element, that means officers who are otherwise not getting the disability pension, the service pension, and only getting the disability element, for their dependents, there is no provision of a family pension. We'll see some numbers now. And so we'll first do, these are very broad calculations. There are variations as per the individual's contribution, loans, etc. I'll start with the superannuation. So for officers who are superannuating, we assume that the DSOP is at around 40 lakhs. There could be individual variations. AGIF would be approximately, AGIF payout would be approximately 18 odd lakhs. Gratuity 20 lakhs. Leave encashment 29 lakhs. That's 10 months pay. Commutation of pension would work out to around 58 lakhs. So an approximate payout of around 1.65 crores would be made to an officer who is going on a superannuation as of today. The basic salary has been taken at 2 lakh 9,600, MSP at 15,500, DA at 42%. These are the present rates. अगर DA बढ़ता है तो there is fair. In terms of the difference here would be because of the DSOP and AGIF and individual salaries की वजह से leave encashment and commutation also might differ. But this is a broad generalized guideline for those who at superannuation would get their commuted pensions commuted up till 50%. Their in-hand pension would be approximately 1 lakh 3,546 because the DA would be paid on the entire pension. So यहाँ जहाँ अभी ये बॉक्स आप देख रहे हैं 47,271. This is the 42% DA presently applicable, and this has been paid at the entire pension of 1,12,550. So if an officer opts for a 50% commutation on superannuation, then a 58 lakh rupees would be paid approximately lump sum, tax free, and after commutation, the pension payout would be 1,03,546. अब मान लीजिए डीए वापस से बढ़ता है 2% की और किस्त मिलती है 3% की, सो दी 45% डीए वुड बी कैलकुलेटेड एट 1,12,550 and the pension would accordingly increase here. For officers who are coming out on voluntary release after 22 odd years of service, the payout is approximately going to be in the range of 1 crore 32 lakhs. यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा फर्क AGIF और DSOP में हमने assume किया है. Gratuity leave encashment भी थोड़ा कम होगा because we are assuming that their basic salaries would be on the lower side as compared to someone proceeding on a superannuation. But if the basics are on the higher side, then the leave encashment would go up. Again, this is a median figure, but since their basics are less, so उनका commutation lump sum amount would be lower. The factor would be more attractive. मतलब कि उन्हें commutation सस्ता मिलेगा सरकार से, लेकिन उनका lump sum कम होगा because उनका overall salary कम है. There was a detailed discussion and a detailed talk on commutation which I had covered, which is again available on the Value Talks YouTube channel. आप वहां जाकर के उसको देख सकते हैं. Pension, again, let's say the pension is at 50%, last on salary is 1,55,000, उसका 50% is 85,250, DA at 42% is 3,35,805. Total is 1,21,055 rupees if an officer coming out on voluntary release chooses not to take a commutation. Commute करवाते हैं तो pension payout would be 78,430 because DA would be paid on the entire pension. And the 46 lakhs approximate would be the commutation payout without taxes. For short service officers, DSOP has been taken at around 20 odd lakhs, AGIF at 12 lakhs, gratuity at 15 lakhs, leave encashment at around 11 lakhs. Total 55 to 60 lakh is what short service officer would be paid. They are not eligible to earn a pension, so that obviously has not been calculated. OROP ka impact, those who are retiring in 2023, the salary, the total is as of today around 1,03,500. 56 after commutation. Without commutation, the pension would be around 1,59,821. 5 साल बाद OROP का पेंशन फिक्सेशन हो जाएगा 1,29,241 रुपए पर. सो लगभग 16,691 रुपए का बेसिक के अंदर बेनिफिट इन ऑफिसर्स को होगा जो OROP वाले. कुड बी सम फैक्टर हेयर और देयर. एंड द DA अगर आज से 5 साल बाद हम देखते हैं इंक्रीज होते होते अगर 70-72% हो जाता है, so the total benefit would be approximately 28,710. As compared, the officers who are not going to receive OROP, उनको benefit DA का होगा 9,300 something से थोड़ा कम होगा because उनका basic जो है वो उतना नहीं बढ़ा होगा. So net impact to an officer after 5 years who is going to get benefited by monthly would be around 25 to 30,000 rupees from the present day calculations, which is a very handsome amount of money in terms of the of pension. What are the conclusions? The conclusions are that PMR and superannuating officers को एक major benefit commutation of pension का मिलता है, which we have covered it in the past. They should choose that benefit. The rate of payment is pretty attractive, except for officers whose pensions are non-taxable. They can probably have a second opinion in terms of taking commutation or not. Otherwise, it's an attractive payment. It helps an officer to get a tax-free lump sum and reinvest that payment somewhere for making their own assets. OROP is going to be a very important financial factor, and officers who are coming out on voluntary release should not overlook its impact. Officers looking at PMR should prepare well for the corporate employment. Otherwise, it is not actually a bad idea to continue to work in uniform till superannuation, purely from a financial and not from an emotional point of view. Personal choices notwithstanding, आपको करना है कीजिए, but in that case, do not say कि OROP का impact नहीं है, and उस impact को negate करने के लिए accordingly अपने बिल का जो आपका employment है उसके लिए उतनी मेहनत करें, extra effort डालें अगर आप voluntary retirement आ रहे हैं. We have covered and we'll continue to cover a lot of career progression guidance on values network. हमारे साथ बने रहें ताकि अगर आप खासकर if you're a voluntary retiring officer and a short service officer, you're able to get some guidance, some advisory from values network for your career progression, in addition to the financial and real estate advisory. Short service officers can increase their terminal payout by leave encashment. Hence, they should start they should start accumulating as much leaves as they can. They can accumulate up till 300 leaves and be paid the entire 300 leaves, even with 10 years of service. There is no limitation on leave encashment there. So start accumulating your leaves from the first year of service. Actually speaking, the terminal benefits are gratuity and commutation of pension. बाकी तो सब आप ही का DS आपका, AGIF भी आपका और leave encashment भी आपका. So you should be availing these two benefits by keeping meritorious service, obviously, and trying to commute a pension. Now, if you take over 85 years of life expectancy, let's assume that all of you remain healthy, you live at least till 85, 90 years, then the shortfall in pension for short service officer is approximately 7 crore rupees over a period of, say, if a short service officer is coming out at 35, 37 years of age, so there from 37 till 85, they will have a gap of around 7 CR in terms of the pension emoluments, which would be otherwise paid to an officer who will be getting a pension. So the short service officers they will have to skill themselves and make sure that they are making approximately average 1.5 lakh rupees more to cover this gap of pension, which is not payable to them. So their requirement to skill and find better paying corporate employment to be able to maintain a lifestyle which is as good as their peers is even higher. With this, I have concluded my part of the discussion.
You gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind.